So today we have Anna Shcherbyna with us of Remotivate. Welcome, Anna.
Hi, so
Thank you.
glad to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you so much.
Great. We love to hear. We love to hear it. So jumping right into it, why don't we just start with telling us who you are and what your company does?
Yeah, absolutely. So, as you mentioned, my name is Anna, and I have been doing operations and recruitment for the past at this moment, almost 10 years, actually.
Okay.
And for the last 2 years, I've been actually running a company called Remotivate that has been helping online entrepreneurs hire their remote staff and been focusing specifically on hiring in the remote space. So that's a little bit about me.
Okay, there you go. So it's interesting because obviously dealing with this very crazy and different year, I'm sure that's your company just happens to fit very well with that. Have you been seeing kind of almost you predicted the future in a sense of how well your company is really going to be doing with these sort of circumstances?
Yeah, funny enough, we're in the right time and right place. I mean, when this all started, I got into this whole remote scene unknowingly. Everyone just started asking for help with with the remote space and like, how do you hire? How do you do this? And I kind of got sucked into it rather than going looking for it. And then now this particular year, me and of course, like my business, and of course, so many online businesses are booming because the remote space is just blowing up right now. Everybody wants to work remotely. So there's so many candidates. And then of course, there's so many employers looking to hire remotely more than ever. So our business is definitely doing very well at the moment as well and serving a very good market.
Absolutely. And just curious, do you think that that's going to be continuing into the future? Do people see maybe opportunities and how remote work can actually work really well?
Yeah, I mean, to be completely honest, I think the future is remote. I truly believe that. My entire team believes that. And I'm in so many communities where that belief is also the truth. This pandemic is just, it pushed the timeline sooner than later and put everybody in a position, well, not everybody, of course, but a lot of
A
people into
lot
a
of
position
people.
that actually working online is possible. And for so many reasons, it's actually even better. And people are beginning to realize that not just giving the opportunity to people working from home or those who want to travel, but it also is an amazing opportunity for employers because they're saving costs on overhead, on like getting the space. There's so many benefits, and they're able to actually hire people from all over the world, and they're able to, I mean, there's a lot of benefits to it, but obviously when you have, you know, not just one city to choose from, but the world to choose from when you're hiring,
Yes,
it
of
really
course.
changes the game. And I think a lot of employers are beginning to understand that.
Yeah, and definitely, like you said, incorporating being able to have people from all different, not only states now, but countries, it's changing the
Absolutely.
entire dynamic of business itself,
Yeah.
100%. And so, like you said, a lot of people are kind of having to play catch up now with the remote work and everything like that.
Yeah.
So, how do you, with Remotivate, create fresh opportunities to best serve your customers?
So that's a great question. One of the things that we focus on is really helping these online businesses that have already started. So our market isn't so much employers going remote or the companies going remote. And I know plenty of people who are serving that market and helping companies that are looking to transfer into the online space.
Mm,
Our focus has actually been with companies that are already online and they're looking to expand and grow the business. So small to medium businesses looking to
okay.
expand their team. And a lot of those companies, what is happening is they've hired lower tier like staff. Like for example, if they're working with just VAs or they're working with just customer support, but they've been doing a lot of like operations and management and more on the leadership side of things. What we do is we come in and we actually build out the leadership team for a lot of these companies. And so we're usually at the phase if they've already either transitioned into being an online business or they have started as an online business. And that's kind of where we come in and we do our best work.
Okay. Okay. And so where do you leverage that flexibility then to think outside the box? Like again, with these circumstances, I'm sure things have shifted a little bit in order to really serve your customers.
I mean, it's really a lot simpler than many people believe
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like a lot of people and employers say this, and people who've either had experience in the online space or haven't. they feel that recruitment is so challenging when you're looking
Mm.
at all those choices, right? When you're, it's like, okay, well, but where do we hire and how much are we paying this person if we're going to hire them from Ukraine or the Philippines or South America? Like, where do we start? Where, like, it just seems like there's so many variables. And the thing that we do is we have such a simple and easy process that really connects. And so for us, like, we don't do headhunting. When we
Okay.
post or invite candidates out there to apply, we get, just even recently, we had a project manager position. We got over 600 applications. The recruitment space is changing so much. If
Wow.
before you had to go out and had to find those people and call the competitors and like, okay, you should work at our company,
Mm-hmm.
recruitment is changing, and a lot of companies don't realize it, that there's such an abundance of amazing qualified candidates out there. And it's really just about the messaging. So we call it the vision of a role, but when you put together really the vision of who this person is, what they're going to be doing, what the skills are, responsibilities, etc., when you have this vision for the company and for the like for the actual position, what we
Mm-hmm.
do is we have that story. A job description is a story that is being sold in a way, and the way what we do is when we have that done in a way that tells that story, then it attracts so many amazing qualified candidates, and we don't have to poach anyone or headhunt anybody.
Right.
We get hundreds and hundreds of amazing talent for every single position that we put out there.
Right. So you kind of feel like then it just needs to be a little more like personable in a way. Then as far as recruiting, so I feel like sometimes it can be like just a basic job post, and then some people feel like I don't
Oh,
fit that. When it's like a bullet
absolutely.
points, rather like you said, when it's telling a story, it's like okay, I can kind of fit into that. So now you have more applicants who are willing to just even
Yeah.
apply.
We have a very personable approach when it comes to recruitment. And I feel like that's something that also has to change, because a lot of companies, recruitment agencies, they look at it in such a mechanical way. And okay, next, here's like the basics, next. Whereas we take a very personal approach to every single position we go through. And we really make sure that we figure out the story that is being told. What exactly are the benefits of working at that company? What are they offering? What is exactly, because you need to position that company as well, which a lot of employers don't really see. They think we have a job, we're paying money, what else is there to say? But actually
Right.
there are so many opportunities as well. And to attract the best candidates, you really need to make sure that you're selling the company in a way. And obviously having an individual process for recruitment, we create these hiring funnels, which pretty much is creating a step-by-step process in which we attract candidates. And we make sure that every single candidate who applies is treated properly, goes through the process, has a lot of clarity, all the answers they need. So we have a very individual approach to how we create the process, as well as how we treat our clients and candidates.
Okay, so you kind of just led into my next question, talking a little bit about how your company focuses on being more personable. So then, would you say
Absolutely.
that's your secret sauce, or what makes up your secret sauce that sets you apart in the industry? What
Right.
would you say that is?
That is such a great question, and I actually would completely agree with that. We call it the human factor. A lot of
Okay.
companies do such an amazing job with automating their processes when it comes to hiring. I mean, I recently even talked to a competitor. Actually, we're all very close in the
Yeah.
space. We're all chat, but they've created a very cool SaaS product where there's just a lot of different tests, and the only way that they hire is there's no application, there's nothing, it's just a test. There's like multiple tests candidates take depending on the position. They're looking at interpersonal skills, they're looking at specific hard skills. And what's interesting is every company I've spoken to has some sort of like fixed process that they're just pushing people through.
Yeah.
And something that what I've never heard anyone really do and really focus on is creating that human factor, looking at the human factor. And that's why so many companies struggle with the intangible positions, as they're called. So operation roles, marketing roles, a lot of people struggle with that because there's a lot of factors that are not tangible. And so what we do is we're really looking at personality. We're looking at character. How are candidates responding? How are they actually connecting with the different steps? How are they showing themselves and how are they showing up? So we're actually going and reading between the lines of their application, between the lines of what their video is telling us, not just the answers they're providing us, but what does that speak to their character, personality, as well as how well will they fit into the culture. So as a great example, every time I have a client call to understand like the client, what their needs are, actually share it with my entire team. So they have a
Okay.
feeling and understanding of the entrepreneur, the business. They understand that culture mindset before going in and actually assessing any candidates. So the whole team, before doing any work, has an understanding of what the culture of the business is and who we are hiring for, not just, okay, this person has the skills and background
Right.
to fit.
Checklist. Yeah.
We have that human factor that I think a lot of companies don't really take into account when hiring.
Yeah, I think a lot of businesses forget that we're not hiring computers. You're not hiring computers, you're hiring these hard
Absolutely.
drives. It's they're still humans. So how much human do you have in you that you're trying to offer us? Like at the end of the day, we're interacting with
Absolutely.
humans. Yes, we might be working on computers in certain ways, but there's that communication, that relationship. And so I feel like there's so many businesses that miss that. It's like when you're
Yeah.
not hiring humans and not aiming for that, there's going to be a
There's
disconnect.
Exactly. And there's just so many skills and like character traits that people are not looking out for. So, for example, a person might not have exactly the experience level or background for the position, but they might have proven record of achieving like specific KPIs, achieving success in
Mhm.
different industries or areas. They've proven to be loyal. They've proven to have grown very quickly. They've proven and shown initiative to be independent. And these are things that people really don't look out for. They're just trying to make it as easy as possible. Okay, have you done this, check, check, check. Whereas we're looking beyond those skills. We're looking beyond the
Okay.
resume. When we actually, this is something very interesting, but when we started recruitment, we didn't even ask for CVs in the very beginning. We only started asking for
Wow.
CVs and resumes because the employers started asking for that. The clients actually started asking for that. But we never did because it's not what we're looking for. We're looking at those culture, personality, character aspects of a person, as well as what have they already achieved that is, and does that align with what the client and what the position is requiring from them? That's it. So it's a
Yeah.
very interesting approach to it.
And I'm kind of seeing like the name of like Remotivate because I feel like it's almost like a
Exactly.
revolutionized like way of thinking for recruiting. Like, am I kind of getting the
Absolutely. And
okay?
you're spot on with that.
Awesome. I'm glad. And within 10 minutes, that means you're doing a great job explaining to me then. I love that. So,
Awesome.
with Remotivate, and obviously you said revolutionary ideas, where do you see your business in the next few years and what are your plans to make that vision happen?
Oh, such a great question. There's actually two aspects to it.
Okay.
So obviously for the agency, we're looking to grow it out and continue growing it out in a very unique way. So again, something I want to stick to no matter how big we grow is having that individual approach to every single client. I'm not looking to make a machine. I'm not looking to just like automate. And we do have a lot of processes that are optimized and automated to make our whole process faster and easier. But we don't want to lose what is our secret sauce, as you said. We
Of
don't want to
course.
lose that human factor for our clients who we have a lot of contact with, for the candidates who we support no matter what part of the process they're in. We want to have that experience as personal as possible for all the people that we work with in the process. So that's kind of one of the aspects. And we definitely considered how do we continue growing the business while maintaining that sacred human factor and that care factor that we put into all
Yeah.
of our client work. That's one side. The other side that we're really, really excited to pursue is more on the candidate side. So for me, the remote workspace is a very, very personal journey and a personal topic for me. It's something that I got into and got very passionate for very specific personal reasons, but it is also the reason why something that I'm looking to create and projects we're currently working on. And I'm not going to go into too much detail and stray, but it's to actually help people who are looking to go remote, because right now that bridge, nobody has created that bridge that will help create the right information, the right places to go. And it's like, okay, I want to work online. What do I do? There is no answer to that right now. Nobody
Mhm.
has the answer. You will see, Google it. You'll see, go on Upwork. You're going to see a lot of things like that. But no one's going to say, okay, here's step 1, 2, and 3, how to start working online.
Right. To make it
And
concrete.
exactly. So that's another part of what we're doing. And again, remotivating people to go into the remote space, right? That's a part of that. We're also working on projects that will benefit people, because with the agency, I don't really think we'll be able to make as big of an impact as I want it to, in terms
Mhm.
of, you're going to lose the human factor somewhere along the way if it gets too big, which is why we're working on projects on the other side of things. Is how do we make the biggest impact for candidates or for people who want to start working online? How do we create and give them the right empowerment, information, everything they need to succeed?
Okay. And so you talked about obviously, and I could see it. They can't, the audience can't see it as much, but I could hear it. You could see it as far as your passion, like you said, for the remote world and how you really see the future in that. So, would you say that's what you're most passionate about, or what are you most passionate about? That like fire in your heart and your
Absolutely.
soul? Is it the remote work, or is there something deeper than that that might
Absolutely.
inspire that?
Yeah, that's such a great question because you kind of hit it again so well. The remote space is definitely my passion. Recruitment is just a part of that. It plays into that. But leading a charge potentially in the near future where I can become more and more of a voice in the remote space of how to start doing that. And again, I see that from both sides. The agency just plays to the employer side more, but I'm looking to in the near future serve the employee side and the candidate side of things as well. But the goal is I definitely want to have a voice in this space. I definitely want to help more and more people all over the world. And I know that a lot of people think that people are struggling, let's say that there are candidates struggling in Southeast Asia or Africa or Eastern Europe, but I mean, this is everywhere. We have tons of candidates from the US, from the UK, from Canada. People are looking for jobs and how to transfer into the remote space from all over the world. And I want to be part of that impact. And so definitely many projects ahead, many ways of getting there, but that's where my passion is. I want to help more and more people start working online and helping to educate them, and obviously helping employers be able to hire amazing candidates along the way and fill their staff with incredible people who are passionate and who want to do the work, and not just because they have some skills that tick off a box.
Yeah, well, Anna, I could just feel anyone who listens to this would definitely feel remotivated already. So it can be found on letsremotivate.com. For anyone else who wants any more information, is there anywhere else that is good to go to? Any social media pages or anything?
That is honestly the best place to go. We're working on our social media right now. They can definitely find me on LinkedIn. I believe links will be
Hmm.
provided below, but overall, letsremotivate.com is the best place for more information about what we're doing. And then of course, on LinkedIn and further on our social media pages, where we're gonna be slowly releasing the different projects we're gonna be working on to help employees and candidates as well.
Amazing. Well, Anna Shcherbyna of Remotivate, thank you so much for joining us today.
It was a pleasure. Thank you for having me, Gabby.